Awesome.
Atlanta, love it. Detroit, Newton Square. Utah. Hi, Lucy. Shiraj, how are you? LA, Diana, Miami. We got a bunch of hot weather people here. Dave, how are you? Lisa, good. Sherry Ann, got a good group here. Nice. Fosha just joined on. Mina. All right, Chad, we got a good group here. I
Love
want
it.
to learn a lot.
I I recognize Dave Bellis. He gave me his clinic, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think I went in and pulled some testimonials from Dave that we're going to do in our live demonstration here with Claude here in a second. So
Oh, perfect. I think Dave, we did like a collaborative post, and I think I saw the other day it like quietly just crept up in views, like it jumped up to like 8,000 views in the past day or two. Yeah, with it, he's been putting out some good content as well with that stuff. Yeah, nice.
great. Good to get rolling here.
I'm ready when you are here.
Right. So we'll start with this. What was your monthly revenue in with RunDNA here last month in June? So whether you're doing gait analysis or the 3D running analysis, what was your revenue? What did you do? And we'll leave this up for another 3, 2, 1. Then I'll share the answers with everybody. All right, so we had 60%, 0 to 500, 30%, 500 to 2K, and 10% above 2,000. All right. Is that surprising, Doug?
Little, yeah, we've got. I know we've been tracking some people. We're seeing a lot more people closer to even in the five-figure range for some of that. So it'll be good to get everybody up towards that, which will be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I see us doing that here very shortly. So let's talk about that. If you could wave a magic wand, now that you know the capacity is, you said 5 figures, Doug, right? So that's 10
Yes.
plus a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you could wave a magic wand and you can respond here in the chat, what would your monthly RunDNA revenue be? And I know I can just tell you ideally for our practice, we're aiming for 16K per device. And we have
Yeah.
2 devices right now.
And Chad, I apologize. I did. I should have introduced you to the group a little bit here too. I did. We just jumped in because I was so excited to talk about it. But for everyone, while you're kind of putting those answers in, if you don't know Chad, you definitely need to. Breakthrough Physical Therapy Marketing is just a well-known name in the industry, and it's done an amazing job. And Chad, we did this webinar, and I think a couple people were on it before, and we got great response from it. But what I'm really excited about this time is now there's a big difference. Is Chad and his clinics, Madden and Gilbert, which they have 6 clinics, right, Chad?
6 locations, yep.
6 locations in Harrisburg area. They now have 2 Helix 3D devices amongst their locations, and we have been having some great conversations, and they've had some really good, even early on success with doing that. And there's a lot more to share. Chad has so many great ideas, and now that he's living this and seeing it, it is something that even beyond my expectations of what they've been able to do and really get in there and find some ways to market gait analysis service and really get a great revenue generation from that.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing that up, Doug. I do want to say a couple of things. One is your education for our clinician, the support has been amazing. You helped us identify, a few champions, and I think we have really 4 that are taking the bull by the horns here, but are getting in, using it with patients. They're willing to share it, and I know our group was so excited when you did your your 1 hour, the what Mike Gilbert, really loved, and you shared a re-recording. So the education has been awesome. The technology we're finding absolutely sells itself as soon as somebody sees it. And the story that I had shared in the short video that you and I put together, where I knew that we were onto something, is Noah, who's really our champion here in the Harrisburg office, Noah Espenshade. He was doing and this was just a week or two ago, was doing a session with Fleet Feet, for 2 or 3 stores, and I think they had 14 team members here. And he was doing a before and after, and I happened to walk through when they were doing an after for the one runner, and she had decreased her whatever. What's the running score called?
The run, yeah, just the run score. Yeah.
Yep. Had decreased the run score by more than half. So huge reduction. And just when I saw her run, she looked really good. And I heard like people murmuring, like, wow, that's really, really good. And then Noah shared the number, and I just heard everybody go, ooh. So like tying the number, whoever's idea that was, Doug, to come up with the run score, very well done. But yeah, it's been great, and I have a lot that I want to share here with the group, just in what we've learned in a short period of time. So it looks like the Diana and Lynn both shared 15 to 20K. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that seems fairly reasonable. Doug, is that a reasonable expectation for potential revenue for a device?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Just it a little bit depends on the clinic size and what you're doing, but it's totally within reach to do those numbers. Yeah.
All right. So we shortened this up a little bit. If you were on before, I did change the slides up for you, so this won't be an exact repeat. We are going to do some more advanced stuff this time around. But yeah, you're in the right place if you want to help more people with your RunDNA technology, whether you're doing gait analysis or again the running analysis, and you want to fill in the gap in revenue. Uh, Here's what we're going to cover today. Why do gait analysis, running analysis, common barriers to generating revenue. We're going to do a quick recap of our session from a month or two ago, and then we're going to take that next step in marketing, how you can get a little more advanced. We're going to talk about AI and some other cool things that we've discovered in implementing this into our same clinic. So why cash-based service? Quick review. Revenue is going down for insurance-based care. Expenses are going up. Some figures have, inflation, our cost to provide care at going up at 32.5% since 2019. Other owners in some areas of the country are saying it's not quite that bad. And I just said, well, have you had anybody ask for a raise in the last 12 months? And everybody agrees that that is happening at a higher clip than we've ever had before. So space, equipment, cost to provide care going up across the board. The problem is, especially if we're relying on Medicare, this blue line on your screen is the CMS physician fee schedule. And since 2008, we've had in 17 years, a 16% reduction in the physician fee schedule, and that does not include the 15% reduction for PTA services. So pretty devastating. And 10 years ago when we started talking about this, nobody was looking to add a cash-based service in private practice. It just wasn't part of the conversation at all. Now it's not yes or no, should I be looking to add a great technology like RunDNA? It's which one should I be adding, right? The conversation has completely changed.
Yeah, Chad, I might fly through these slides a little bit because we have, I think, only one or two people that aren't RunDNA users on this here, so they kind of know what they got here. I was thinking about that. It just real quickly, then I'll fly through this. Running when we talk about adding cash-based services, and we look at this, we presented slides, and people always want to go to like, I want to do CrossFit or I want to do baseball or things like that. But running has like 10 times as many people participated as something like CrossFit. And the injury rates are really high. So it's a really great niche to serve. And you can go to the next one. And then if we even expand that on to people that walk, whether that's for fitness. There's 110 million people that walk for fitness and wellness each year. And especially in later populations, they're having significant limitations in balance and falls that are not only risky, but often deadly. So by bringing the walking and the running together, there's really such a huge target market. And when we're bringing it back to those revenue abilities, where we want to get to that 15 to 20K a month in generating revenue, there is no lack of people that are looking for this. It's more creating awareness as we go. So we can go to the next slide here. And I think this one might be a video. Yep. So RunDNA, that's what we're here to do. We're here to just make it so easy that you can apply this and not have to worry about what you're doing. And that's kind of, Chad was talking about the education. Like, we want you to just be able to focus on how to provide this service, not what do you do and how to create reports and how do you do follow-up. We'll take care of all that. You just focus on giving a great experience to your clients and getting them better. And that's really what we're here for. So the next one's a video, and we can skip that because most of the people have seen what the 3D looks like. If anyone is interested in learning more about that, reach out to me at doug@rundna.com or get our sales team at sales@rundna. But a lot of people on this are pretty familiar at this point with RunDNA here.
Cool. Yeah, so at Breakthrough, I'm going to go through this slide pretty quick as well. Really what we do is help owners with practice growth. I am a private practice owner, just like you shared, Doug, 6 clinics, 22 years in private practice now. And yeah, just to give you an idea for size, I think we have 104 team members and we see about 10,000 visits per month. Just like you, we're constantly looking to add cash-based revenue and seeing what works and what we can roll through. And again, the education with RunDNA has been fantastic. So common barriers to rolling this out. Again, this is a recap if you were on a month or two ago. So I'll go through this fairly quick. Number one is staff buy-in. I'll share what we've learned here, update that. The second one is inconsistent marketing or no marketing. It will sell itself. We still see that. And there's a very easy way to talk about it. By the way, Doug, I have a really good question here for you from a follow-up
Yes.
conversation that you and I had. We're going to talk about that. And the third one is my patients won't buy it. And just to give everybody here an idea, right now, the way that we are selling this is we modeled exactly what you do with the Omega Project, Doug,
Yes.
in terms of cash. And then if somebody's coming through with insurance base, we add a tech fee. Is it worthwhile for everybody on this who might, and I'm guessing it might be, is it worthwhile just to talk about that setup of what the tech fee is, or is everybody familiar with that already?
A lot of people should have some familiarity with it, and I think it's great, like a great segment. We've seen other clinics do this very well, where they say, "Hey, this is something that we really feel is important, but the technology comes with a cost, and we're just really looking to recuperate it." And what we've basically seen is that a gait for all, like everyone needs a gait analysis, is a great way to go about it. And going for larger volumes plays, like I think a lot of early on customers, we were talking about this because this is kind of what we did at Omega early on, where I was charging $400 or $500 for a gait analysis, and doing a couple a week was a pretty good return. But as we started seeing it, the real value is not just the first gait analysis, but it's getting the second and the third and the fourth to show progress. And by making it a technology surcharge where we say, this is something that is going to get us better results, and putting them as a hero, this is going to get you the results that you want. This is going to get you helping your grandkids faster or finishing that marathon even faster and getting your Boston qualifier. But we're going to need to do it a couple times, and making it a $50 to $100 technology surcharge if you're already seeing them in an insurance capacity is a great way to get the volume play of it, especially early on when you're establishing it as something that people don't necessarily realize the difference of, hey, a gait analysis where you walk into someplace and they say, oh, I see a pronate, versus a full 3D gait analysis.
Yeah, love it. So I'm going to do my follow-up now. I was going to save it.
Yeah.
When you and I were talking about marketing, I said, who's the ideal customer for the running analysis? And you said 38 to 52-year-old female
Yes.
runner.
Yes.
Even better, 44 is very,
Yes.
very precise. You went Charles Duhigg on
Yep.
to give me like the exact target demographic. With gait analysis, what does
Yes.
the demographic look like?
It's very similar actually. We're seeing that. I actually found an interesting statistic the other day about runners. They did a survey, and there's about 50 million runners in the U.S. each year, and that participate in running events. So that's people that actually sign up for a race, and 91% utilize technology as part of their training program. So that's now we've got 45 million people that are technology driven with it there. So that kind of expands the group in my mind. Even this is something I just found the other day. Like there's a lot of people that are open to technology. Now that doesn't mean that's all gait analysis, but the 44 age group is one that is still pretty competitive. And what we've seen is the kids are at an age in school where they can get out for their morning runs a little bit easier, that the kids are getting on the bus or after drop off. They've had an injury or two in the past and they've had enough of a pain point. So we really do see that like it's really about 37 to 44 is the sweet spot of who we're doing most of our gait analysis on.
Love it. That target demographic, and I think it's 49 high school educated, or maybe it's 48 high school educated, 53 college educated. I Female in the US is the number one consumer in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah, I'll have to send you my references on that. But
Yeah.
that's going to come into play here when we're going to build some copy live, some
Yep.
messaging live. That'll come into play. So glad you shared that. Big overview, 30,000-foot view. There are 5 ways that we can drive new patients for whatever our services are. Number
Yes.
one, we have reactivations. These are, somebody on your patient list, you treated them 2 years ago for whatever the problem might be, back pain, and now they're coming back in for an additional service. In this case, it's for RunDNA, right? For running analysis or gait analysis. Second level up, we can do is word of mouth referrals.
Mhm.
So pre Mary sends her friend Elizabeth in for additional care. Next level up, and most practices, we claim we're really good at word of mouth referrals, right? High quality care, word of mouth referrals. That's number two. Number three is physicians' professional referrals. What we're finding is physicians who run, bring them in, put them on.
Yes.
Like get referral sources in. We have 3,000 local referral sources here in central Pennsylvania within 4 or 5 counties. We're inviting them in to get on the get on the treadmill. Let's see where you're at. Let's see what your run score is. Next one up, and probably some resources we could share about running analysis, gait analysis that we're putting together. We do a monthly mailer where we're just sharing that, but we're not going to focus on that here. Next one up is partners. We are going to focus on that today. So these are organizations that are promoting you. And we're going to talk about one specific example for us is Fleet Feet. So it's a running specialty store here in Central PA. And we're going to talk about that specifically. And then the last one is cold traffic marketing. So that's where you're advertising on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, TikTok, direct mail, print mail, etc., to promote your services. But we really only have those 5. We're not going to talk about much about physicians or word of mouth referrals. We're going to focus on the other 3 here. So last time we talked about 3 successful strategies for promoting gait analysis or your running analysis incorporated into your practice. Doug, I don't even think you know this yet. We rebuilt a room. We have a RunDNA lab now that is new from when you were here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I knew you were talking about it. I didn't know that you guys actually did it there. That's awesome.
They were finishing it up this morning and this afternoon. So
Great.
a 70-inch screen TV on the wall. It's quite a spectacle. So
Nice.
whenever somebody's on there, it's going to be a big deal. And they even did I think they talked with somebody on your team about this, did an accent wall in black.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yes.
So for
Oh,
the camera, camera utilization, I will.
perfect.
So, yeah, so did that. That should be done here today. Very excited about that. But somebody's coming through on day one. You have to recommend the gait analysis.
Yeah.
Don't wait 2 or 3 weeks in and then try to go back and say, oh yeah, you need this, right? It's day one. This is what successful treatment looks like, and you include gait analysis. You plant that seed on that very first visit. Yeah, and our best, again, clinicians are doing that 100% of the time when it's appropriate. The second thing that you can do is market to your past patient list. This is email, and we're going to provide an update on this. Email, text, direct mail. And we just talk about it. We talk about before and after. Before, my run score was this, after it is this. I pulled a document together. I think we ended up with 42 pages in a Google Doc that I can share out here, but of reviews, Google reviews from the 4 practices you gave me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'll share that with
Awesome.
everybody because it's the key to promotion, right? And for us, even if somebody went to your clinic,
Yes.
but they're talking about their transformation with the RunDNA technology, the Helix 3D technology, that is great for us, right? Because we can use that as the building blocks for all other marketing material. If we're sending an email campaign, text campaign, direct mail piece, whatever it is, that 42-page doc is the basis, the foundation for everything. And I'll share that here. Um, I'll share a link in the chat here at the end.
Awesome.
Third thing we can do is cold traffic marketing. Again, that's advertising. I tend to think about it paid. Really quick insight with social media. Everything in the beginning, in the very beginning, every social media platform accepts everybody, and you can crush it with organic. What happens is as they mature, you have to pay, or you have to have very good viral content that other people are sharing. It's one of two ways. So in most situations, we're looking at advertising. Facebook is number one for our demographic. Instagram's number two, and we're advertising on there constantly. We are creating material right now, and I'll show you how we're doing that in a second here with Claude. But you can use cold traffic marketing as well. Tanya, do you have a recommendation for a cheaper direct mailer company? Just the cheapest one that I know of is Handy Mailing, but you have to go to them with print ready content, which is easier than ever now with AI. But yeah, Handy Mailing is the low. We did an RFP a few years ago with 6 or 7 national printing companies, and I think they won for when you have print ready material. Wow, even have Handy Mailing in there.
There you go.
Unsolicited promotion for sponsored promotion for that.
Chad, I don't want to tell me if I'm jumping the gun here, right? But with the messaging here, how you talk about like performance versus gait, are you going to get into that a little bit there too? Because I don't want to steal your thunder here, but that like just from what we were saying there, that was a thing you and I had a really good conversation about the other day, and so let me know if I'm jumping the gun here, but it's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch screens in a second.
All right. Perfect.
The example that I'm going to use is for running performance.
Perfect.
Oh, but I can change it on the fly.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about big picture marketing for a second. There are 3 things that must align: market, message, media. And if those 3 things don't align, you're going to have failed marketing attempts, especially if you're paying for direct mail or online, whatever it might be. So market, message, media, they have to align. And here's how to think about it quickly. Market is the target market that you're trying to reach. In our case, we just agreed that it's 38 to 52-year-old females who run. So that's our target market. You can draw a radius around your clinic, 5 or 10 miles, whatever people are willing to travel, and how many of that target demographic are in your area. Wouldn't it be great if you had a list of every single person that was in your target demographic? Highly likely, yes, right? So you can start there. The other thing that you can do is you can go to your patient list and download the patients, segment out the patients that are your target demographic, and you can create lookalike lists. That's very possible. I'm not going to deep dive into that now. The next thing that you can do, so market, message. Messaging is what most people mess up. And especially if you're a clinician trying to write your own marketing copy, you're going to struggle. When Breakthrough started, Carl Mattiola, who's the CEO and the co-founder here, when he and I met, he was the head of online sales at Tesla Motors, and he was doing a ton of research at 6 a.m. every morning before he went to work. And what he found is he did this national survey, and I think he had like 300 owners respond, private practice owners. Show me the most successful thing you've ever done in marketing, and then show me the least successful thing. And what happened is, or he didn't say show me, what was? He just asked a question, surveyed it. He got a list of like 35 different things that were the most successful. So it was email blasts, patient newsletters, physician luncheons, all these different things. And then the least successful thing, it nearly looked like the identical list. It was really weird. And he shared this with me, and I was looking at it, and I really had started to get into marketing, and I said, what are we missing here? Well, how can the most successful marketing in private practice across the board be the same thing that is the least successful? Like the biggest, what is going on? And then he turned around and he asked, and he went to the people that had said, here's my failed marketing piece. And he asked them to submit a sample. And as soon as he saw it, like it jumped off the page right away. It was poor messaging. So messaging, the words we use, how we talk about the transformation that can happen in using RunDNA, that is the key. And it's very easy to mess up because we can talk about how many cameras we have. We can talk about the 70-inch screen. We can try to show the analysis of the actual software. And Doug, you and I even talked about this, but in your most viral Instagram posts
Right.
that are getting 10x, you're showing somebody running.
Yes.
You're not showing the screen.
Yeah.
Or anything else, right? So that's the key. We have to talk about running performance and moving better. So, by the way, this is the icon, the logo for, oh, this is going to be tricky. I have to change how I'm sharing my screen. Google Chrome, Claude. Got it?
There we go. Got it.
All right. So this is Claude. This is free. You can also pay $20 a month. I love the storyline behind Claude for a couple different reasons, but basically it was the head of OpenAI engineers that left because they didn't like what was going on at ChatGPT. They started Claude AI. Most professional copywriters I know are using this to make themselves more productive. So I created a simple prompt. We're going to do this live. You are a world-class marketer, so we're giving it a good prompt telling it how to act, working with Doug Adams of the Omega Project. Do I have that right, by the way?
Yes. Yeah.
Using the attached testimonials, and I'll share the doc with you here in a second. I have it attached here already. And Google reviews, write an email campaign consisting of 3 emails promoting the Helix 3D running analysis or RunDNA. This will be sent to a patient list at Omega Project. Your target market is 38 to 52-year-old females who run. Their main desire is to improve running performance. Is there anything you would change about that in verbiage, Doug, before I send it here?
No, I think that's great. I mean, like you've been saying, the performance is something that people universally care about. And we found the more we try to push gait on people, the less people are receptive. But every single runner wants to run better. Like everyone would want to run faster or farther or stay healthier. So that's the biggest want that people are really doing. And the messaging and the transition we typically talk about is gait and your running economy are some of the most modifiable things that we can do to have a short and long-term benefit for your running.
Yeah. So we're going to hit click here. By the way, like as this is working 5 or 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I would have paid like $18,000 to do the work that we're going to do here in 30 seconds.
I use Claude too, and I love it. Yeah, it's great. Just how fast you can get access to this.
And I'm going to share this out for everybody. All right. So continuing to write here, maybe we should have done one. One email, but it'll create a doc. I'll share
Yeah,
the link for everybody, but very quickly, right? So messaging was a barrier. It no
yeah,
longer is. And then, if we go back to that market message media match, we have the target market. We now have the messaging. I mean, other things that I'll do in the prompt is if this is written over the top and I see things in here like using gait, and like I would never say gait analysis on a patient email.
no.
And you share that with me as well. So I would say, okay, remove the word gait and write on a 5th grade reading level, and it would fix it on the fly. So if I click on this, I should be able to share it to everybody. Oh, all right. So I'll put this in the chat for everybody. Now you have 3 email campaigns. And the other thing that I did want to share here. Just give me 1 second. All right. All right, there it is. Share, and I need to find you again.
And I'm just reading through it, and it's like it's picking up exactly what we're trying to say, like what the difference is of why 3D is different here, right? Saying personalized insight, specific weakness, targeted solution. Those are all things that like are key differentiators of what you're doing versus like somebody just watching somebody run or somebody videoing it there. It's a huge benefit there of what we're offering, and it picked up on that and did a great job of making it succinct.
Sweet. So I also shared in there the Google Doc that has 34 pages of Google reviews that I pulled as well, just to help with the messaging. All right. So partners, this is another big one. This is the idea where other people are going to promote you. Here's what we have figured out that works really well so far. Oh, and I can see a lot of people going into the RunDNA the review document. Yeah, so number one is we had a few connections with college running programs. The very first thing that we did was bring in the head coach for their cross country team at Lebanon Valley. As soon as that person was the coach was done, he started asking about bringing in runners. Like it was instant, like no sales or encouragement needed. Just saw the benefit of it right away. How can I get my runners on this? And now we're just talking with, right? So as soon as we have a beachhead that we can get it in with college programs, which we found one, now we're going to every other college that has a cross country program. And I'm sure we're going to work into the high schools and work our way down. But instantly we have a much bigger fishbowl to play in. But the thing that they're doing is they are promoting us, which is fantastic. The second big one that we caught on to was running specialty stores. If you're thinking, like, as we're solving this problem, and Doug, this is something that you and I talked about, I believe. But so like right outside of my door here behind me, that's blurred, we have an HBOT clinic, hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It's another service that we offer. And recently we did a direct mail piece, and 80% of the responders had a very unique email account address. What do you think that email account address was? Dale, Doug, I think you nailed the email address, if I remember right.
The Yeah, or Hotmail or AOL or yeah, it was like probably AOL or Hotmail, right?
Yeah. So 80% were AOL.
Yes.
That
Yep.
was, and I think it was just 12 of 15. So like it was a somewhat big sample size, like bigger than I expected.
Yes.
That is really weird. And I think the other three were MSN and Hotmail. And that was
Yes.
just, oh, that's who's reading a direct mail piece. So
Yeah.
then what we're going to do is reverse engineer, and we go back to our patient list, and we're creating a list of anybody in our patient list that has an AOL, Hotmail, or MSN email address. And then we're going to direct mail those people because apparently they respond really, really well to direct mail, right? It's the same thing that we'll look for um, as we're promoting RunDNA. So for examples with partners, if we had that list, right, of our 38 to 52-year-old female runners within our clinic, right, and we could segment that out of our patient list, what we want to think about is what other lists are they on in the community? We know they're likely on the list at the Inside Track Running Specialty Store, Appalachian Running Company, or Fleet Feet, right? We know they're there. So we're going to go to those places of business. And what we started doing, the very first thing that we did with Fleet Feet, and it's what Noah did here, did an amazing job. 14 of their team members came in and he did a live demonstration, right? So we did a mini workshop for the Fleet Feet employees around RunDNA. And they fell in love with it instantly. They're already talking about it. They want us to have like 3D analysis days within their place of business because it gives them foot traffic. And think about what's in it for them. If somebody is running faster with less injuries, what does that mean? They're buying more shoes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Buying more shoes, right? So yeah, a nice little synergy there. We're seeing that work as well. The last one I'll give you is this. This was our second, not the final copy, but we got in. We have a relationship. We do a lot of partner workshops. So we have a full-time person who does nothing but set up partner workshops for us. She goes to social and civic places, large employers in the area that have, I mean, here's a quick and easy one if you're looking to improve your payer mix. Um, who's your highest payer, private payer? Who are the 10 largest employers in your area that offer that insurance to their employees? You should know who that is, right? Like if you're in private practice and you're trying to change your payer mix and mitigate that declining reimbursement over time, you should know who that is. So what she does is she goes out and sets up relationships with those large employers where they will invite us in for a health fair. They will invite us in to do workshops or lunch and learns or whatever it is. Through those efforts, we got in with we had an opportunity to be involved with the Harrisburg Mile. And they basically said, you can be in every bag. This is going to go to 1,000 people. We used AI and we're very comfortable using, they're called, this is the real name, and I apologize in advance if this offends anybody, but they're called Butt Ugly Postcards, right? So it's a book on promotion. These work really well. So we worked with AI, worked with the reviews to create this copy. We're going to be in every bag, and we're going to be able to have live running analysis and provide running analysis to runners there. So these are people that are running a mile for time. Many of them are looking for their personal best. It, much of our target demographic is going to be in the field as well. So we're going to be able to market to them as well. So just one other thing that we can share out again to help you take the next step there. So we want to generate more revenue. I think we identified at least a need within those of you who had responded where between $0 and $2,000 a month. We want to be at $10,000 a month plus. What can we do? Doug has been awesome to work with, and create some relationships around putting the RunDNA information into the breakthrough software. I'm going to break for a second and show you how we do that as well. One more awkward screen transition here in the share. And all right, so one second, and we're good. All right, so I went into our Breakthrough. This is how we manage all of our marketing, is within Breakthrough. So if we're doing reactivations, email or text campaigns to our patient list, we put it into here. If we're doing partner workshops, if we're doing cold traffic advertising, everything is managed within this Breakthrough software. It's all in one. We used to keep everything on spreadsheets. We don't do that anymore because we ended up with 6 spreadsheets and everybody like getting data lost and not being able to follow up with patients, etc. So if we wanted to do a workshop, let's say for the Harrisburg office, I think this is Harrisburg. Yep, we're in Harrisburg. And we want to add a partner workshop and we could do one specifically for Fleet Feet, right? We can go in here. I can add, let's say we want to do it August 12th, and we're going to do it at 12. Doesn't matter. So we can add that in. Instantly, we can add that, and what will end up happening is we'll be able to generate a landing page that then Fleet Feet can promote on behalf of you, right? So instantly that can happen. Did it populate? Ooh, don't see it. Yeah, anyhow, so you can create a landing page and we would have Shelby and Fred Jocelyn on from Fleet Feet with their picture, everything else, and then we can provide them with everything from email campaigns to everything else so that they're promoting our RunDNA services within their facility. So just again, a very quick demo here, and we'll go back to the slide presentation. All right. So yeah, and we have RunDNA email campaigns in there, and then also we will hard code in a RunDNA workshop. And I mean, it's really using exactly what we shared on Claude a second ago. So, some quick success stories. Jordan Williams of Proof PT, they were able to, very quickly use the RunDNA device, promote it to their patient list, and generate a couple $1,000s fairly quickly. With practice, in terms of if you're thinking about a plan in terms of rolling this out, a few different ways you can promote. Again, reactivations, very key, promoting to your past patient list. You want to be promoting RunDNA because not only do you get the reactivation and the additional care, you're also getting the running or gait analysis. You can also go to partners. You can also go to cold traffic, are the 3 big places that you can go. The other thing that I'll talk about here, which is often overlooked, is reporting. So in business, anytime we solve a problem, we really reveal 2 other problems most often, right? So like if you've ever been working with a runner and they have a knee issue, you resolve the knee issue with um, helping them change their gait and reduce their score. Maybe now they have a little foot irritation or SI joint irritation, like the pain moves a little bit. Same thing happens for us as business owners, right? So if we solve the marketing problem and we start to get our target demographic to raise their hand, now we have 2 other problems. One is tracking. It's exactly what the Breakthrough program and software does. And the other one is conversions, right? So if I have people that are responding to emails, responding to my text campaigns, showing up to my partner workshop, how do I convert them over to a paying patient? And again, I mean, we're very aware of the problem and we have tools on that to help. One exciting one that we just rolled out, this is a real conversation that we had. Carl and the team, the engineer team here at Breakthrough, within the software they built in, and you might have seen this on the campaigns that I shared. It said ICA, and that stands for AI Conversion Agent. So back in May, they rolled this out, and we have it working in our practices now. I can tell you just some examples, or I'll show you one example here from a conversation I had with a patient. This is for shoulder pain, this particular example, but it's at 12:26 a.m. on May 17th. That was a Saturday morning after midnight. The patient responded, and the ICA AI conversion agent, we call our conversion agent Emily, reached out and had a conversation with the potential patient and asked a simple question: how would you rate your scale 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst? The patient responds via text a minute or two later. Emily comes back, does a really nice job, straight out of Chris Voss, reflecting, acknowledging, right? I think he calls it mirroring, and then asking another how or what question. The potential patient answers again. Emily comes back with it, does the same exact thing, uh, reflects and acknowledges the potential patient's answer, and then asks another question, another how or what. We go through this 4 times across 13 minutes. In the end, the person said, I did PT for a few months after injuring my muscles under my scapula. PT led to vocational therapy. Thanks for the replies. Looking forward to the workshop, right? So here's the crazy statistic that we have now in running this within Breakthrough. From cold traffic marketing, which is the hardest thing to convert, with a single text, it's converting over to an appointment from a single text off of a Facebook ad or Instagram ad at 10.5%. We've never had that. The highest we've ever seen a human do is 4 or 5%. So what we're seeing now is that practices that are using this are converting at a much higher rate. We're doing the same thing. I mean, now with the reviews, we can program in for RunDNA to have the same exact conversation. Not hard to do at all. So if you're sending out email campaigns, text campaigns, or advertising in off hours, you can have an AI conversion agent handling this for you and really extending your staff. So if you have somebody working the phones for 40 hours a week, now you can have somebody working the phones for 168 hours a week, all hours of the day. The other thing that we get is, reporting, and Breakthrough has a ton of, within the software itself, has a ton of reporting. So you get to see exactly what's working in your practice, and not so that you can keep your schedule full. And again, in the end, improve your payer mix, improve your revenue, and pay your bills. So here's how to apply. You can go to getbreakthrough.com/run. I can tell you we have a lot of different programs. Our most basic one that is probably going to be appropriate for you if you're a single site practice is $400 a month, right? So very, very basic. And then we have more extensive packages if you're looking to get into online advertising, et cetera. And that runs based on the size of your practice. But yeah, to learn more about that and use the same exact tools that we're using, you can go to getbreakthrough.com/run, fill out the short form. It'll take you about 2 minutes, and then choose a time to schedule your call. We do only work with private practice owners. And in this case, if you're using RunDNA, fantastic. You're way ahead of the game. But our team wants to learn, more about you, what you're trying to accomplish in your practice, how what you're doing today to narrow that revenue gap as well that we talked about, and increase your cash pay services with RunDNA. And they will not only learn more about you, but provide you with strategy as well. But you can learn about the programs. It'll be prescriptive. They'll tell you exactly, what you can do to move the needle in the right direction, and you can make a decision from there.
I'll just add in my 2 cents to this. Like, one of the things I think resonates with this group, especially, is, we want to be specialists. We want to be the people that runners ask for by name. We want to focus and hone our craft on that. And the business side of it, the marketing, the business, the tracking, the metrics, the conversions, everything Chad was just talking about. If you don't have somebody specializing in that in your business, then you will not see the growth that you want there with it. If you buy a Ferrari and park it in your garage and don't tell anybody about it, then it doesn't do you much good if you can't drive it, if you can't, show it off and do those things. Having somebody that specializes and having somebody on your team like a Breakthrough, or getting, even if you have somebody and you want to equip them with the right resources, I think that makes a huge difference, because we all specialize and we want to be spending more of our time doing what we're best in the world at. And the more you can give yourself to work on the things that you're uniquely valuable at are even better. So just something I'd highly encourage people to consider, that you need to have some element of growing the business as a part of this. And you're going to see those larger returns because you're putting the time and effort into it.
Yeah, and I'll take it a step further, Doug. I'll share a
Yeah.
very painful example of in this office, our main office in Harrisburg, we'll see 700 to 800 visits a week. And a few years ago, we always struggled with attribution, and I found when I was working with other practice owners, I would say something like, what percentage of your physician referrals show up to an eval?
Mm.
And every owner says 100%. And that is not true, right? So they might get a script from the doctor and just never call. So that can happen. Or they might get a script and call and no show or cancel and not show up. So we went through, and I mean, this took us some man hours at the time. We had to do it manually. But in 1 quarter, so in 90 days, we found here at the main office, and we had seen, just to give you an idea, about 360, 340, 360 new patients on the quarter. So
Yeah.
everybody here was like, "Oh, we're doing great. Like
Right.
this is amazing. We feel good." And we went through and we counted in 90 days, we had 99 people schedule an eval and no show or cancel and never come in again.
Mm.
And now we have software that is, 10 bucks a day, 15 bucks a day in each office that we can track that, right? And
Yeah.
it allows us to do so many other things. We can send all of our emails through there, all of our texts through there, both one-to-one, one-to-many. There's a million different things that we can do with the software, including the AI conversion agent. But now we have those metrics, and I would pay, 500 bucks a month, 1,000 bucks a month. I know what it cost us to figure that out in the past with an Excel spreadsheet and a person, employment costs, and now we can replace that and be much more efficient. But if you're not doing that, you're likely, where did those 99 people go?
Right. Their
Probably
competitors somewhere else. Yeah.
they went to the hospital system, anything else. Um, and thanks for doing that again. Any questions that we can address here on?
There was one higher up, Dave was asking about thoughts on positive versus negative, gaining performance versus avoiding pain. Does I feel both messages, excuse me, can be successful. Any success with one over the other.
Yeah, Dave, love how you're thinking. Here is in my career of working with owners or working with runners, what is the most painful experience that they have that they want to correct? I'm going to guess it's a doctor saying you need to stop running.
Mhm.
It, I mean, there might be more, but like I would test it, right? Fear of
Yeah.
loss is a real thing. I'd be thinking about testing messaging around my doctor told me to stop running.
Hmm.
So yeah, love where you're going with that. And oftentimes in the marketplace, I do find um, the negative can outperform the positive, right? I would not lead with injury prevention. I do know
No.
that. Like, um,
Nobody cares about an injury until they have it. A lot of times, they think they're bulletproof for them there. So yeah, I agree. The performance has been way better from our standpoint too.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, I can go through. Yeah, Tiny typically interacting with the coaches and yeah, we do the same, Doug. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions? Anything you want to deep dive on? Doug?
No, this has been great. I think this is a lot of the push that the users need. I think that it can be such a great utilization, but it's not. It's a great tool, and some of the advantage and disadvantage is seeing is believing. And but you got to get out there. You got to show people. You got to talk to them about what the true value of it is. So I think the biggest things that we see and really have seen a shift in stop talking about gait analysis, start talking about run performance, and try to get people to realize the value that's being offered. And one other thing that we didn't hit on, because you had a great point about converting, like we've had some people say like, hey, I'm getting people in for the first, I'm not getting them in for the second or for the third. And that a lot of times we're overdoing or overgiving in the first one. It takes time for people to be really making some of these changes, and we have to make sure that they are going from motor performance to motor learning. So we have to really convey that message that the gait analysis is just the start. We need to keep using it time and time again.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. Last week in our staff meeting, I was asking about what is working, and our group said future pacing.
Yeah.
They also did the basically one, that you show somebody the whole pizza pie, but it's only a slice at a time, right?
Yeah.
You say like, hey, here's everything that we're going to do. These are the phases of what we're going to work through. Here's what we did today.
Yeah.
Recognize and acknowledge the visit that they did today. Here's the work you did. Here's what we're going to be doing next time. And yeah, completely agree with you. That is what works because it helps the person future pace and they're already attending their next appointment, knowing exactly what they're going to work on.
Yeah. It's
Um,
great.
Doug, thanks for doing this, man.
Chad, thank you as always. Always learn and have a great time. So, and thank you all for attending here, coming out in the middle of a Tuesday. Great group coming in here. So, I appreciate everyone. And, you've got the link in here as well. And Chad, is the recording going out? Are we, is there a, or maybe that's a Gabby question. We'll figure that out on the,
Yes, we'll make sure to have the recording out to everyone that's registered along with the link.
Perfect. Awesome.
Looks like a couple people came through already. Very much appreciate that. Looking forward to learning more about you and your practice, and then how we can help you promote the RunDNA. Thanks again for doing this, Doug.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.